WTF! WTF!
Bon qui, je m'appelle Ross Twiddell, your Cultaholic heavyweight champion, and welcome to all of the WTF moments from a fantastically painful episode of SmackDown Live, where the most important thing that we learned is that Kofi Kingston's favourite food is a roll-up. Not the fruity kind, the kind where you grab another man's undercrackers and pull them up their back. And we kick things off with Tom Phillips, who was doing what he does best. No, not sliding in Instagram DMs like a massive diddler. In the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast, sense of the word, of course. Yes, he was face fornicating the poo out of a line on commentary when he asked the following question: can Kofi Kingston do the unthinkable and take out 5 of SmackDown's elite superstars? Joe, Orton, Sheamus, Cesaro. That's only 4, man, Tom, you silly goose. Now I know he's big and he's strong and he can read books these days, which means he's a very clever boy indeed, but I can't just pick Erick Rowan as part of one of the elite superstars on SmackDown Live when he's got as much charisma as one of the trees he presumably loves to hug. And next up we have a Cultaholic sign out last night's SmackDown Live, which is always a WTF moment because our little rinky-dink thing is being promoted around the world by a lovely man. Now I hope I get the pronunciation of this right, because this second name here is fantastic when it's written down on a bit of paper. Thank you to Andy Bollenbacher. And next time you go to a show, do what Andy Bollenbacher did. Whoa now, WWE, you promised to kick off last night's SmackDown Live with the Gauntlet Match, and for some reason you didn't. There I was, sitting down to watch last night's show with some popcorn and some dark fruits and some beef. And out came The Miz. I mean, of course, The Miz is very good, but you can't promise one thing, WWE, and deliver something else, because then people like me will go on YouTube and moan about this sort of thing, even though it doesn't matter one bit. And next up, we have Byron Saxton, who claims he just can't imagine how much mental turmoil The Miz must have been through since that sweaty father turned diddler. In the Cultaholic Wrestling podcast sense of the word, at Fastlane, a week past Sunday, WTF moments for which will be coming later this week. Yeah, boy. But Byron Curler McSweaty Bollocks' attack on The Miz will not have been the thing to cause the mental turbulence up inside The Miz's head. In my opinion, and when it comes to Curler McSweaty Bollocks, I've proved I'm always right. How cocky, but here we are. I reckon that mental turbulence will have started when The Miz and Shane got together. You know, when the former WWE Champion, Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, Money in the Bank holder, Tag Team Champion, Mixed Match Challenge winner, and Daddiest Dad of the Year was booked to be the inferior member of a team that also included a part-time sweaty dad with a nipple dick who believes he's several times better than he actually is. Imagine having the legitimacy The Miz does, in a kayfabe sense of course, but then sitting there in a match being bailed out time and time again by Shane McMahon. It must do you nothing. If anything, the heel turn from Sweaty Bollocks Byron will have been a massive weight off the shoulders of The Miz. How dare Shane McMahon take the piss out of George Miz's potato face when baby Shane McMahon was a literal power pod. Look at the size of that bonce, man. He's football crazy and he's chocolate mad. And then we have The Miz claiming he has sacrificed every single relationship he's ever had in his entire life, apart from with Maurice and little tiny baby Monroe Sky, just so he could get ahead in WWE. And I can't have been the only one thinking about big sexy George and The Miz's mum, who have always had The Miz's back, because where George comes from on the streets, respect pa and loyalty are massive, yo. Yes, it took a really arse backwards reason for George to be finally proud of The Miz, a reason we have gone through many times on these WTF Moments videos, but never before has it been established that George hates The Miz, so no doubt about it, go and check TMZ now and you'll probably find out some bollocks. Miz then claims that people in WWE were telling him to be wary of Shane McMahon because despite the fact he's universally loved by everyone, he's a bit different backstage. Now, Miz, I don't want to say I told you so, but Miz, I bloody well told you so. You could have just watched any episode of WTF Moments from a SmackDown Live perspective from any point over the past year, and I would have told you everything you need to know about Shane McMahon. Back to George Miz we go this time, as I realise now that Shane McMahon permanently has a flu. And I've worked this out because I'm stood here sweating like he does, and I'm just doing what he does. Talk, but with less heavy breathing. But back to George Miz we go, as The Miz revealed on last night's SmackDown Live that George Miz is 68 years old, and I can't believe that. He doesn't look a day over 55. It looks like living the life of a porn star from the 1970s who hasn't given up on that life in 2019 is good for your skin. Now, I can't quite see all of that sign there, but at my best guesstimate, that sign there reads hard 24/7 for divas get some. Imagine walking around the streets before last night's SmackDown Live with a sign that says that on it. I don't know about you, but you might as well go to a tattoo parlor and get tattooed on your forehead. I'm going to die a virgin, because that's the same thing. That's if that sign actually says that, and if it doesn't, I wholeheartedly apologise.
Yep, I wrong. Yep, I wrong.
So on last night's SmackDown Live, the bloody IIconics told Sasha Banks and Bayley they're going to get a bloody good hiding. Because they were in unfamiliar territory. Then Byron Saxton gets all uppity and says, well, IIconics, being women's tag team champions in WWE, that's unfamiliar territory. So in disagreeing with them, Byron, you actually proved you fully agree with them. You, my friend, are a waste of resources. Quelle surprise, as the French would say, as Tom Phillips and WWE get a case of the first time evers when they shouldn't be getting a case of the first time evers. They claimed that last night's SmackDown Live was the first time ever that Sasha Banks and Bayley had appeared on SmackDown Live. Now, I'm sure they've made more than one appearance on SmackDown Live since the summer of 2016 when the brand split was brought in. What the hell am I doing with me hands? But for the purposes of science, here is a picture of Sasha Banks and Bayley on SmackDown Live 900, November 2016, doing things. Hashtag under siege. Anybody at all in the comments section below, tell me what the hell Sasha Banks and Bayley were trying to do there? Because I don't know.
Yep, I wrong. Yep, I wrong.
Byron Saxton is the biggest New Day fanboy in the history of this world ever. This much we know. When Byron sees the New Day, he's like a 3-year-old seeing some sweeties, of Vince McMahon seeing a massive, muscular, sweaty man. He gets very excited. My question now, though, is why the hell was Byron Saxton moaning about the IIconics cheating to win? Boo! When the New Day, either babyface or heel, cheated to win just about every single match they ever bloody had. What's the difference, Byron, you pleb? Just imagine Vince McMahon seeing Ronald Mysterious arrive to last night's SmackDown Live, and just imagine Vince McMahon rising out of his chair and saying, look at the size of Dominic! Never mind Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul, being the biological father of Dominic. I reckon the big show is because where the hell is Dominic acquired all of that mass? So the announcement that it's going to be Ronald Mysterious versus Samoa Joe for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 35 is an announcement we should all like. It's a match we all want to see, really, isn't it? However, this announcement was tinged with a bit of sadness for me because a 3-month program between Ronald Mysterious and Andrade culminated in a kickoff match that was cancelled. And that's bollocks, that is, you know. Maybe at WrestleMania 36 we'll finally get the Andrade versus Ronald Mysterious match that probably should have been happening at WrestleMania 35, but Joe versus Ronald, that'll do for just now, won't it? So then, we can only presume that Triple H versus Batista has been cancelled. There they were, going through every single WrestleMania match that's been announced so far. Becky and Charlotte are up next. They dealt with that then, but Triple H versus Batista was not included in the rundown. I mean, where was it? Why wasn't it mentioned? It's just as missing as Batista's bloody nipples were on this week's Raw. What the hell's going on, man? I'm sorry, but Kayla Braxton asking a man who has held the WWE Championship for 371 days in a row the following, what the hell was it again? What makes you think you have what it takes to beat Randy Orton? Was all kinds of what the hell? Hold up, you know what I'm saying? I'm really sweating now, everybody, but Kayla Braxton, do you know who that man is there? And have you watched the wrestling before? Because questions like that suggest you don't. But then we have Alan Styles claiming that Randy Orton was a first-round draft pick while he was just a welcome. When in fact, if you cast your mind back to the inaugural draft pick in 2016, AJ Styles was the first-round draft pick and Randy Orton was in the second. So, made a grave mistake, Corey. There is nothing Sheamus hasn't achieved, according to Corey Graves. Is that so, Corey? I must have missed the time Sheamus won the Intercontinental Championship. He is always moaning about never winning. Now, of course, rumours have it during that video that made all of our lives a wonderful place last year, Sheamus wasn't actually getting angry at Total Divas. He was not watching that show. PG. When your voice was heard on WWE commentary, Corey Graves. That'll show him. Could you imagine just how many more WWE superstars could have enjoyed Kofi Kingston's match on last night's SmackDown Live if WWE didn't insist on everybody watching TV like a massive knob? Look at that picture there, man. There's no doubt about it. There's half the babyface roster on SmackDown Live absolutely gutted that they can't enjoy the match with the lads because there's absolutely nothing better than enjoying the match with the lads. Dun 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 dun. Hang on a second there, Kevin. Eco-friendly biodiesel big tree Erick Rowan walking out to the Bludgeon Brothers theme. What the hell is this nonsense? This is like Kane walking out to the sound of a dentist drill. This is like Bray Wyatt taking off his shirt and going, hello everybody, look at my meaty breasts. I am an army tank with a Ferrari engine, broom broom. You've got your wires crossed, man, Kevin. A WWE superstar in 2019 does not clear the announce table before putting somebody through it to make sure it's all neat and tidy and the softest landing possible, and what's more, the announce table actually breaks. When did we step in a time machine? What year is it? What's going on? Get out of the time machine, everybody. Grab all the animals and save yourselves. The end is nigh, the end is nigh. Time to run away, the end is nigh, nigh. But while that beatdown from the tree was going on, we learned that Big E and Xavier Woods of the New Day were banned from ringside. At no point during last night's show, however, was it made clear that anybody else in the babyface half of the roster on SmackDown Live was barred from ringside. So those numpties there standing going, woohoo! Go on, Kofi. Absolutely pointless. Get out there and help them, man. And next up we have Tom Phillips claiming that Gauntlet Match last night lasted 55 minutes, and no, it did not. You exaggerating bugger. I bet that aeroplane stiffy didn't last anywhere near 4 hours. It actually lasted 46 minutes, 55 seconds. So suck on that. So then we get to the big old crescendo of the night. Kofi Kingston's won, but Vince McMahon comes out and says, Kofi, I can't be asked to do the impression now. I'm very ill and very sweaty. Kofi, you're not the WrestleMania card. You got to beat Daniel Bryan. Now we know that Vince McMahon doesn't believe that Kofi Kingston is box office, because that's why Kofi Kingston was removed from the Fastlane main event, but what the hell's he seen here? There has got to be another reason why Vince McMahon believes Kofi Kingston can't be in that WWE Championship match at WrestleMania, because he stood there seeing a sea of Kofi chants, Kofi signs, Kofi trending worldwide on Twitter. If that's not box office, Vince, I don't know what is. I really hope we find out what the hell Vince McMahon's problem is over the next 2 weeks, and if we don't, I might sacrifice a lamb. It's that annoying. But not only that, we also have Vince McMahon protecting the new Daniel Bryan, despite the fact he should hate the new Daniel Bryan more than he hated the old Daniel Bryan back in 2014, presumably when they let the Authority keep that little hairy man down. Daniel Bryan overtly says these days he doesn't eat meat. Daniel Bryan overtly makes a point of saying, I want to save the world, something Vince McMahon probably doesn't like because he's old, and no old people like that. But most importantly, Daniel Bryan craps on the consumerism that keeps Vince McMahon's business alive, yet Vince now is protecting him, and it makes no sense. Member Asuka. She's the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. She is really pissing good. She didn't get a single mention on the SmackDown Live 2 and a bit weeks before WrestleMania 35, and that is absolute bollocks. I am going to jump in an ice bath now. And that is it for a very Shane McMahon sweaty, flu-ridden edition of WTF Moments for SmackDown Live. I've been Ross Riddell from Cultaholic.com. I hope you don't catch this. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can play us to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.